Okay, here we go. Dream Challenge Part 1, fairly recent new addition. Our star hero is Daryl. Do we stay true? Do we give him the crossbow? No, he kind of sucks. He doesn't get to sort of play to theme. So, I haven't upgraded any of his traits or anything because he's awful. He does, of course, have the friendship bracelets. This does make him a little bit better. Does it make him good? Nah, not really. So what are we doing here? Free the survivors and get out. Okay. So I managed to get Mercer injured earlier in the old Guild Wars. Now, if you haven't seen it in action yet, let's do it. Let's use the Code Orange Championship Rifle. Now, I think this might be good with Princess because it cripples and you can hit multiple targets. So, just by having her on the team, oh my god. So do excuse me just 1 second. Just by having her on the team, she's going to be giving you a chance to just pretty much always be charged if you have a target-rich environment. Having a pretty awful leader is not something I'm used to. I've just come straight from Guild Wars, where we were using leaders like Outlaw Negan and Sasha and Connie, and now we're using Daryl. So as you open these boxes, as you free those people, you unleash walkers. What you could do is you bring Glenn along. That way you can interact with these boxes, open those cells, and you've still got an action left. We've got a threat counter as well, so we've been making a lot of noise. One of Daryl's leadership abilities is, of course, that it kind of gives you a chance to not make noise with your weapons, but it's luck based. You know, it's not a great skill, really. It's better than nothing, but now what we did there with Princess was that we used a sort of an extra attack. With her charge attack, you get to stun walkers. You have that fantastic long range wide arc. You get to use a bonus attack and then you can attack again, which is pretty great. The Code Orange Assault Rifle, of course, came from the the Survival Pass. And it is, I mean, it's a unique weapon. There's not really anything like it. That huge range, that wide arc, and it gets crippled. That's amazing. So that mission, it can cause dramas. It really, really can. I think characters like Tyrese, where you're slowing down a significant number of walkers with his debuff circle, and you're hurting anything that comes through them, that's great. Having Glenn, so that you can interact with those boxes at the end of the map and still have an action left. You're not essentially losing a survivor when you do that, that's great. Or you could have Connie. Yes, she can't have an action after she's interacted with the boxes, but you can still end your turn next to her and you get the benefits of her leadership ability. That's still handy. It's one of those ones where you kind of all up close, walkers just appear, there's a threat counter, there's a lot to deal with in that mission. Take it at the speed that you have to take it. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to be hanging around in that one either. Hell judges, get to the exit. Beware, death awaits behind these doors. Okay, yeah, this is a tough one. You've got some explodey stuff. I mean, honestly, I just can't think of much use for Daryl as a leader. I'm sort of struggling to think about who I want as a team here. Jeez Louise. No, actually, there's lots of blind corners around here. I think they're having Ezekiel, so that we don't just get blindsided all the time. I'm going to do that. I'm just, like I said, I'm struggling to decide what to do with Daryl. Now, you could say that one of the things you could do is to give him some silent weapons and stuff like that, but then one of his skills is that he's supposed to be able to negate the noise that comes from weapons. Doesn't really help if you're shooting a walker which is strapped with explosives. It's going to make a load of noise anyway. But, yeah, quite how you're supposed to utilise Daryl's skills, I don't know. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that icon that came up? That was the heirloom icon. So what we had there was, we had a character, Daryl, using a charge attack, and then because he did that, it bounced a charge point to every other member of the team. So with Daryl here, at least you're going to get to see how those heirlooms work. And that was an example of just that. Now you, sir, you are right in our way. I can't end a turn next to you. Can't do that. So obviously we did just use a charge attack, but it didn't imbue charge points on everybody else because it is luck based. So after that initial excitement, we get back to the fact that Daryl still sucks, because yeah, that heirloom effect would be great, but it is luck. It's luck based, so that ain't very good. Get here. Put Tyrese in the wrong place. I want Daryl to open the door. There's walkers behind here. This is a tough mission. Quite frankly, if you find yourself swapping Daryl out for a much better leader, I can't blame you. Strategy-wise, I think melee characters are probably better, because you've got that threat counter, you've got those blind corners as well. Makes it a bit rough to use ranged characters. An explosive walker can just come around, your guys react, shoot defensively and blow themselves up. It happens. Plus shooting them creates a massive boost to the threat counter. So maybe more silent characters. Tyrese, his debuff circles work really, really well when you have those natural bottle heads in the in the mission, you know, in the layout. So you kind of funnel walkers. They have to go through these narrow corridors. They have to go through that circle. They take harm. They slow down. So he's good. God, Connie as a leader, I guess, so you can cause more damage and you can just ideally just clear that mission and get it over and done with, because it's a horrible one. You never know what lies beneath these doors. Behind these doors. Sounds like we've got some doors to open. We're going to use the pizza boy. Yeah, you have that. You have that. That's a better way around of doing it, I think. Oh, cat's asking for attention. Always distracting. But come on, we've got a mission to do. Okay, kill all walkers. Okay, so we don't have any doors to open. Fine. Tell you what we will do. Not having that. These explosive barrels might come in useful later on. That's for sure. when you've got much tougher walkers on the screen to fight against, perhaps they'll be really useful. But for now, having a barrel that close, the chance that we're just gonna shoot it ourselves, it's too risky. So this is one. Obviously, I've got a bit of a close combat kind of team here. Definitely having ranged characters is preferable. I'd completely forgotten about this mission. At least there's no damn threat counter. But yeah, you can do stuff like this. Very handy. You've got the time to be able to ignite walkers. So if you have incendiary weapons, you can set the walkers light, and you've got a couple of turns for it to start taking effect. This would be an absolutely magnificent one, funnily enough. That new champion assault rifle, that wide arc, you'd be able to get lots and lots of walkers all at once. Yeah, we can do that. Being able to stun, ensnare, you know, all that kind of stuff. You've got some walkers on there, tanks and spikies, but you can just kind of prioritize them. They can't be stunned, they can't be, you know, anything like that, but they can be ensnared. You want weapons that are going to slow walkers down. I would recommend incendiary. Anything that you've got that's going to hit multiple walkers all at once, thumbs up to that. Use those barrels as it gets to higher levels and you have really tough walkers. Use those barrels. Once they're slowed down, they're easier to sort of train, you know, to lead around to where you want them to go. Get them close to the barrels, blow those up. They do a lot of hard work for you. You're going to have very tough walkers, increasingly tough walkers at higher levels. So characters like Mercer, Beth, Tyrese, people who can harm walkers, doesn't matter how hard they are. Quinn, I've actually been using Quinn. He's pretty good, actually. Go to exit, but choose path carefully. Okie dokie, if you insist. I'm struggling to think of a really sort of killer team to sort of put together with Daryl as the leader. He sucks. He's just awful. I've upgraded his heirloom a couple of times, and we did get some use out of it earlier, which was pretty nice. But he's still awful. So we've got the sort of quicker way here, or we've got the longer way there. If we go this way, we don't have any new surprises, so nothing will spawn out at us. Ugh. But we've got to deal with some very tough walker types. Generally speaking, I go right. You know, this is the route that I take. Is there a particular reason for it? I don't know. You know, it's a much more windy road, but something that we can do, for example... You're really not proving my point here, Daryl. What I was going to say is that we can set things alight, and we've got plenty of time. Basically, we can decide when we start to advance. Let's keep Ezekiel there. So we can let that fire work for a good couple of turns before we have to go and deal with the consequences. But there is a threat counter as well, which kind of sucks. It negates some of the choice that you have in this mission and how to deal with it. Let's get everybody lined up and together. The lights go out, that's pretty scary. So we're using charge points. What could be happening here is that everybody could be given a charge point as soon as a charge attack is used. It's not happening. It's a feature that can happen because of friendship bracelets, but this is something that I've been saying. People have been saying, like, oh hey look, do the friendship bracelets now make Daryl worth using? Now, I love the idea of those heirlooms. I think they're fun. I think they're interesting. They suit the character, and they can potentially give a boost to some characters who need it. Maybe we would see some characters who don't normally get used getting into the game a bit more, because they're going to be made more effective by those heirloom boosts. But they require so many resources to upgrade. It requires tokens from Guardian Carol to upgrade the Friendship Bracelet, and that sucks because you're taking tokens away from a great character to try and make a pretty awful character somewhat usable. It's just not worth it. Oh, that's why I keep on missing you. Yeah, God, little chat thingy. Oh, there we go. Go live at 3 AM here. Yeah, I mean, it's early. It's early here in the UK. It is coming up to 9 o'clock in the morning. I jumped on to do Guild Wars, and now I'm doing this. I know it's not ideal for American times. I also tried to stream later on as well, at about 9 o'clock tonight, and I think that's a bit more of a doable time for anybody who's in America. But obviously what I do is I put these videos up on YouTube. Thank you very much. It's been a very good morning so far. Guild Wars has gone very well, and of course this weekly challenge, it's a challenging weekly challenge. You know, we'll say that. This one's tough. This one is tough. But we're just going through how to, you know, maybe make the most of it. Looks like we've got an awful lot of stuff here in this particular mission. Oh, and good morning to you as well. I mean, it is morning over there, 3 AM. It's just really bloody early. Okay, I don't remember this one. Okay, so those boxes are glowing red, so when we open them, there's going to be something that happens. They are booby-trapped, essentially. Therefore, we'll get Daryl to open them. Let's get this guy cooking. We've got a threat counter, so I don't like the fact that we're spending this much time. What happens? Big old Spiky comes through there. Now he's far enough away that we don't necessarily have to deal with him just yet. So let's not. We can cripple him, slow him down. What happens when we open this? The door opens. Anybody gonna come out? I'm not gonna use my charge attacks because the threat counter is at Zippo. We're going to have some reinforcements come in. There we go, we've got David there. Now, a survivor has appeared. And that actually is a good thing for us, because we can put all of these problems behind us. We can move on emotionally and physically. And that survivor is going to be a chew toy for any of those walkers over there. So let's do that. That's obviously the way to do it. Unlock this far crate. Move along, unlock this one. Keep moving towards the right of the stage. And then you don't have to worry about all of that nonsense that's happening behind you. This one's not glowing red. No booby trap there. So this one, I think that Glenn could be a bit of a superstar on this particular mission, because you can open those crates and still have an action left. You could open both of those in one turn. But the point is that you want to get that survivor out so that he is a chew toy for that big, scary, spiky walker. We missed both the gold crates. I'm not spending gold. I'm not spending gold. Fine. If we missed both those gold crates, we did. Definitely some incendiary would be good to take care of that tank, although he is occupied for 3 turns when you jump in. Could be a case of that if you bring Walker Mike, the Whisperer's Mask, character like Beta, or maybe Huntsman Daryl, you could just sneak past any walkers, You can open that crate on the right side of the map because there's no booby trap there. You might just be able to do all of the objectives before the walkers even notice you, especially if you have Glenn on your team to do those ones on the left of the map. Everything that you can to be able to distract or just walk by walkers. I think that could be the key. When it's on very high difficulties and you might not be able to just stand there and go toe to toe with walkers, think about how you're going to be able to just get past them. Search one of the classes for supplies and get out. Okay, so this really sounds like a job for Glenn. We were wrong last time, but Glenn is coming. Tyrese is here too. Let's do it. It's so difficult to decide on a team that you actually want to bring when the leader is Daryl, and he's not very good. Oh, come on, let's make some noise. Screw it. Okay, I'm going to wait until everybody's got their actions back. Obviously, with Glenn, we can interact with something, still have loads of actions. Kind of want to... So if I open that... Glenn has already interacted with something once. He would be helpless, so we're not going to search it this turn. Okay, that is fantastic. Okay, who is getting us? You are getting us. Okay, okay, okay. I'm concerned because I might have just left Tyrese in trouble. No, he's fine. Oh, this is... Tyrese should be able to defend himself, and there's a chance that he'll get charge attack because he's attacking an enemy. Oh my gosh. Did I mention that I don't like Daryl as a leader? Okay, let's cripple those guys. I suppose I could have just shot with Daryl and they would have been crippled anyway. I will blame this all entirely on Daryl. I say that he is screwing up my gameplay. That's not really fair, that's not really true. But he sucks. In the game. Obviously, great character in the show. Okay, Tyrese the Cookie Monster got himself hurt, but that was worth it. Should have used it after attacking those, doesn't matter. It does look pretty challenging this week. Yeah, this is it's a tough set of missions. Personally, I'm not going to go for max points. I'm not going to sit there struggling to try and do this with Daryl as the leader. Just going to try and get it done as best I can. We've got a lot of stuff on as well anyway. Guild Wars, seasonal event. I'm not going to throw this weekly challenge, but I'm not going to struggle through trying to get 5,300 points in total. It's just, yeah. Daryl sucks. But yeah, this is an interesting challenge. So those, Glenn, you can see how useful he is. Daryl, you can see how useless he is. Tyrese, again, Tyrese might be a bit of a superstar for this set of challenges. You've got a lot of maps where you've got these doorways or narrow corridors, and people are going to be forced to go through his debuff circles. Daryl, use him until you can, and then just ditch him as the leader. Get the extra stars while you can, but as soon as you start don't struggle because of him. All right, I think we're back to the start. Jailbreak, free the survivors, and get out. Yes, that is the weekly challenge. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one, guys. So if you are having any particular dramas, do say so in the comments, and either I or I'm sure somebody else will be able to help you. Do have fun out there. That's the end of the video. That's the end of the stream. Thank you very much.